in my mind, I had this crazy idea for a car, and my car is this. This is
Okay.
this is all my car is going to be.
There's a big wheel.
Is a big wheel. So I've got some of the big monster trucks that Hot
Right.
Wheels makes,
Right.
but these wheels are just ridiculous in size. Like that's
Yeah,
just
that's huge.
that's huge.
Right.
I had this idea. What if I took this big wheel and made a car out of it? And it's been one of those things that's been stuck in my head for months and months and months, but I never acted on it. Well, I started acting on it. So, took one of the side engines from one of the other cars. It fits beautifully inside the hub of the wheel. So, that's going to be the engine. And then for the driver, I found this cool little driver dude. I don't know
Right.
where it came from, but he's just sitting there driving. And I had this kind of roll cage from another vehicle. And I was like, well, that
Right.
fits perfectly. And I can just put a bracket right there, and that's going to be the other dude. That's how he's going to be just sitting there. All these parts need to get stripped of the chrome, so we're just going to pick up our purple power that we love so much, and we're just going to drop. I got a bunch of other little parts that I'm going to drop in there for some other builds. So we're just dropping on some chrome, and this is kind of where it's at. So this is my idea of a motorcycle or small car, however you want to look at it. I got the engine. It's all just used right now. I just have poster tack holding everything together. But that's the engine, which looks fine, just sticking outside of the in the wheel or the hub of the wheel. And then this is what I built up for the bike or for the rider of the man mangler, as Greg called it. So I put plastic card inside that roll cage to give it a solid look. I filled in the top where the guy was, and that's where the rider is going to be. So that's there. And then I added a little bit of support in the back of the window, kind of hold it in place. That's kind of what I created, so I'm quite happy with it. I put it on a base primarily just so I have a way of putting the measuring sticks in front of it so that it lines up nice and even for movement. And I just got to figure out what I want to do for guns. So, a couple of options I have in front of me is I can easily just mount a gun on the side right here, sticking out uh, quite quickly. It'd be easy, not a whole bunch to think about right there. But what I was kind of thinking about is maybe drilling a couple holes here in the front, putting some tubes in there with some brass rod maybe, and have those be my guns in the front. And so just have two little tubes sticking out there as guns. That is another one of my options for this car or this vehicle, motorcycle thing that I'm creating. But that's kind of where that's at. So, not going to do a whole lot with it tonight. Maybe I'll start toying around with the guns and kind of get to work on that. But it's getting there. So next, I just got to get it painted and we'll be ready to go. But first, we need to catch up on my Orc vehicle. So I got all my parts painted up. So I just need to get this stuff, or I got them primed up. So I need to get that painted and get it mounted.
That's gonna be so cool.
And then I got the little carriage, the little driver's
Cockpit,
compartment,
essentially.
cockpit. Yeah, it's all got paint on it. So I need to mount a couple tubes in the front to represent machine guns. Now we're gonna get to working on this.
Worky.
I got some alligator clips
Right.
and I glued them to my nails that have rare earth magnets on them.
Right.
So that way when I put it on my metal thing, it just stays in place.
There you go.
So being creative.
Look at you.
It happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen often, but every once in a while. So I went with just putting a tube in the front of the thing of
Right.
the sidecar, as we're going to call it now,
Right.
and I'll just paint that block, and that'll just be a machine gun.
Sweet.
Just keep it simple. Bikes don't have a lot of weapons, so I don't want to get carried away. I was thinking 2 at first, but I thought 2 might be just a little too much. And then here's the, as Greg likes to call it, the man mangler. Got the engine in, got the engine mounted in, got the sidecar mounted on. As you can see from the side, you can actually see the guy in there with some pretty big contrast.
Right.
And I just did a tube for 1 machine gun. I think that's sufficient because this is going to run as a motorcycle.
Right.
So I don't want to get too carried away. And you can actually see the guy through the glass. So I think that's kind of neat. So I just need to get that washed, some dry brushing done to it, kind of weather it up a little bit, chip it up, because this thing probably isn't the most stable of vehicles.
Right.
So it's probably going to get bashed up a little bit. But I'm happy with how that turned out. This was one of those projects that's been sitting in the back of my head for a long time, and something I just wanted to get done. So
Yeah, I can understand it.
I'm happy with it. So we'll see how it goes. And I like the concept. It's just a big wheel of rolling.